Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to give you 10 tips to grow your hair longer and faster. My first tip is the most important one, and it's to have a good mentality towards your hair. You have to believe that you can achieve your hair goals, otherwise what's the point? If you don't believe, you will not find the motivation to do all you need to do in order to achieve your goals, and you will find all sorts of excuses like genetics. You will blame it on genetics. Unfortunately, it is a very common excuse, so you have to get rid of this way of thinking, and you have to have the courage to admit that you have bad habits and you have to replace them with good ones. So first you have to believe. Also, it is very important to love your hair. Of course, you will have some moments of frustration. This is a very common situation when you want to achieve goals, but keep in mind that it will not last and you will always find your motivation back if you love your hair. Lastly, for this first tip, I advise you to visualize yourself achieving your hair goals. You have to do it regularly. Me, I used to visualize myself with very long kinky hair at my waist or butt, and I would do it almost every day. And what I would do is to find pictures or videos about ladies with very long kinky hair and visualize myself at their length. So they were a very great source of motivation for me. So to sum up this first tip, which is the most important one, you have to believe that you can achieve your hair goals, you have to love your hair, and finally visualize yourself achieving your hair goals regularly in order to stay focused. Now the tips that will follow are habits that I developed in order to achieve my hair goals. My second tip is to use products suited to your hair. Use shampoos, conditioners, leave-ins, oils, butters that your hair loves. Don't use products that will dry out your hair. It's you that have to experiment and find out what are the most suited hair care products to you, and I advise you to choose the most natural ones. My third tip is to keep your hair lubricated all the time with your favorite oils. For me, it's olive oil and avocado oil, and I also use sometimes grapeseed oil and other type of oils. And at the beginning of my hair journey, I used to apply coconut oil and shea butter on my hair. So it's you that have to experiment with different oils, and it can change with time. So why it is very important to keep your hair lubricated? It's because it avoids the formation of knots and it prevents your hair from being mechanically damaged. What does it mean? Mechanical damage occurs when your hair shaft is damaged due to rubbing of your hair strands against one another, and also it can be due to the use of hair accessories like rubber bands, hairpins, combs, brushes, and even your fingers. So keep your hair lubricated in order to protect them. My tip number 4 is low manipulation, because detangling always put tension on your hair no matter how soft you are with them. So it's always good to keep detangling to a minimum. 2 ways to manipulate your hair as less as possible are lasting protective hairstyles and stretched hair. First of all, lasting protective styles, as their name suggests, are hairstyles that protect your hair and keep them from being tangled and manipulated for a great amount of time. It can be braids, twists, buns, updos, etc., and they can last between 1 week and 1 month, or even longer if you know what you're doing. And your hands should be protected, and no tension should be put on your scalp and hair. Secondly, stretching keep your hair from being tangled and avoid knots, so you will tend to detangle your hair less. So that's why it's a very good low manipulation technique. My fifth tip is a good detangling technique. Even if you keep detangling to a minimum, it's very important to be careful when you have to do it in order to avoid breakage. Finger detangling is one of the best methods in my opinion. It helped me a lot with length retention during my hair journey. I could go for more than 1 year detangling my hair with only my fingers. If you don't like finger detangling, you can use a stemless wide tooth comb, and I suggest you to detangle on stretched hair with oils or in the shower using water and conditioner. I have videos about how I detangle my hair using my fingers and also a stemless wide tooth comb, so I will put the links in the description box if you want to take a look. The videos are in French, but you can still see what I'm doing, and I will make sure to make videos in English about them too. My sixth tip is to protect your hair when you go to sleep using a satin bonnet or scarf, and if you don't like that, you can still use a satin pillowcase. It will prevent your hair from breaking and tangling at night. My seventh tip is to avoid cutting your hair. Why? I give you an example. So you know that your hair grows for a certain amount of time, then it stops and then it falls out. So let's say that the growth period of time of your hair is 7 years and you cut each year 4 centimeters of hair. You will lose 28 centimeters of hair, which is quite a lot. So I advise you, instead of cutting your ends, protect your hands very well, and if you have damaged ends, you cut only the damaged ones and leave alone the healthier ones. It takes more time than trimming your hair. Yeah, it's called the search and destroy method. So they gave a name to it. So do the search and destroy method. I have a video about it, so I will put the link in the description box. Again, this video is in French, but I can translate it if you want. Do the search and destroy method and avoid trimming your hair. And once you achieve your hair goals, you can still trim your hair at the same length and you will always have healthy ends. My tip number 8 is to have a healthy lifestyle. So for the food, you should eat food that are very rich in nutrients, so in vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and you should eat proper amount of carbohydrates, protein and fat. So I advise you to eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, grains, etc. And I have on my Instagram food that I eat, so you can have a look if you want to have an idea of what I eat. And also you should drink plenty of water. Me, I think I drink more than 2 liters of water per day, and if you don't like to drink like water, plain water like this, you can still drink smoothies, juices, infused water, and a lot of fruits and vegetables that are rich in water like watermelon and cucumbers. Also, I advise you to work out a lot. Sport is very important for your health. It improves circulation so that your hair can have the proper amount of nutrients to grow faster, healthier and thicker. And me, I'm not really into sport, but I walk a lot, I dance and I do yoga, so it counts. Lastly, sleep enough and be careful of your mentality. You should always keep a good mentality, a positive mentality, not only towards your hair but towards your life in general, because it enables you to avoid stress in your life, and you should keep stress as less as possible because stress can have a detrimental effect on your hair growth. My tip number 9 is scalp massages. This is so important and it helped me a lot. So do a lot of scalp massages and I advise you to do it daily, but if you cannot really do it daily, maybe at least 3 times a week. But yeah, it's more efficient if you do it daily and at least for 2 minutes, and it can last until 20 minutes or 30 minutes depending on the time that you have. And you can, it's not only you, you can ask someone to massage your scalp for you. And yeah, scalp massages are very important, and you can use stimulating oils like mustard oil and essential oils like peppermint oil and rosemary oils. Those are my favorites. I have a video about how I massage my scalp. I use very specific techniques, and this video is in French and I plan to do it in English, so I will put all the links in the description box. My last tip is to do hair challenges. I know it can be difficult to incorporate all the tips at the same time in your hair journey, so you can do challenges about scalp massages, finger detangling for 1 month, protective hairstyles, etc. And you can do it alone, but it's always better to do it with several people and be within hair groups. Me, I'm into health groups on Facebook, and my favorite ones are Sapos Usakas and Hair Challenges. Those are French hair groups, but I'm sure that there are a lot of hair groups in English. So yeah, I advise you to do that, and it will help you a lot to stay motivated during your hair journey. That's it for this video. This is my first English video. I'm really happy that I found the confidence to do it. I know it's not perfect because I had so much difficulty to speak, but it will get better with time. And thank you for watching. And also I wanted to insist on the fact that you should really focus on length retention, because if you don't know how to retain length, there is no point of stimulating hair growth, because your hair will always break. So focus on length retention, and once you master it, you can stimulate your hair growth, and your hair will grow so much faster, longer, healthier, thicker. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.